Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the big morning briefing for the big game tonight. Bayern Munich versus Celtic at the Allianz Arena. Tony, I've just realised I need to do something with your wee graphic so that we can show that you're where, Tony? You're where?
I'm in Munich, München, call it what you want. Yeah, I'm in Germany. Yes, I'm currently in the hotel in Munich City where I'm staying.
There we go.
But I am live from Munich. Indeed, yes, I'll be going to the Allianz Arena. I was there yesterday for Celtic's press conference. It's a wonderful arena, what I saw of it, but a lovely lecture theatre type setting for the press conference. Yeah, you know, so you probably saw red seats, and yeah, it was a bit of a day yesterday, Hamish. It started at 3:00 in the morning for me yesterday, getting on the original flight from Glasgow to Frankfurt. Lots of Celtic supporters on there making their way over, and then getting from Frankfurt to Munich, and then Munich. So I'm staying kind of Munich City Centre, it's called, and it's right next to the equivalent of Glasgow Central, Munich Central. So there's a hubbub, and there's lots of Celtic supporters in the hotel as well. So I think it was the late Jimmy Sanderson that once said, Ibrox is filling up slowly but rapidly. I could say the same about Munich. It's filling up slowly but rapidly with Celtic supporters, and it's good to see.
It's a great city. I was there in the summer when Scotland played at the Euros, and yeah, one of my favourite cities, Munich. Actually, Germany in general is a great country. It's a great stadium you're going to as well tonight, as you'll know. Yeah. But kind of in the middle of nowhere, isn't it? It's a bit of a tough one to get to and from.
Yeah,
I'm sure Celtic fans will be well versed. We were there a few years ago.
As I found out yesterday, it is smack bang in the middle of nowhere. But I arrived in the middle of the afternoon in Bayern Munich. Normally they do their press conferences in the kind of midday, 1:00, and then Celtic will do theirs at 6, or the opposition do theirs at night. Turned out Bayern Munich were doing theirs at like 3:45 at their training ground. So I was like, okay, this is when Uber is your friend. You just punch in street names and stuff. So ended up going to Vincent Kompany and Musiala were speaking yesterday, and that was a great experience as well, going to the Bayern Munich training ground too. So it was a
funny
bit.
You mentioned that, Tony. I need to bring something up. I was watching I've been kind of distracted while you're talking there because I was busy sorting what I'm about to show. But I was watching the press conferences earlier on today on the official Bayern Munich YouTube channel, and look who popped up.
Who's that goon? Indeed. There's me holding a laptop, at least looking studious and busy. Yeah, there you go.
So you're on the Bayern Munich YouTube channel working hard. How was your day yesterday in terms of the press conferences, and did you find out anything particularly interesting?
Well, it was great because we started with the Bayern Munich one, and Vincent Kompany just wasn't for telling you if Harry Kane was playing or not.
He was asked twice, wasn't he? A Scottish journalist asked him at the end.
Asked in German, and then one of the Scottish boys asked him to clarify, and he started talking about smoke bombs and fudging it and blurring the lines, and it was great. So he gave it all that, and Kasper Schmeichel was asked if Harry Kane not playing, and Kasper Schmeichel went, he'll play. It was just like shot down as quick as that, and you know, and then he was a wee bit more diplomatic, but the first two wasn't. So it's funny, but yeah, Vincent Kompany very aware that obviously the finals in the Allianz Arena this year. And that there's pressure on it. There's pressure on Bayern Munich to deliver and win this final. So in order to get to that final, they have to dispose of Celtic. But it's not in terms of getting to the final and winning it. That's not a given, but that's their modus operandi for this season. And they're very mindful of 2012, the last final that was held in the Allianz. Chelsea won it. Didier Drogba inspired. Chelsea scored very late on in the last minute, and then scored the decisive penalty. So I think there's emotional scars there. And he was asked about that, and he said that he's not particularly heard about 2012, but you could kind of tell it's clearly been mentioned. And it's like, we get to the final, we don't fail again. Celtic are currently standing in their way of reaching the last 16. this doesn't need to be as difficult as it may sound. But so there's pressure on Bayern as well, and I think they're very aware of that. Musiala was talking about, he was asked about his time with Kuhn in Bayern too, and he said he was a good character, but he was very kind of, I think their paths crossed, and he said he's delighted that he's kind of resurrected his career at Celtic. And he was asked about, he didn't rule out getting a German cap, but he said Julian Nagelsmann will have to, it's his team, not me type thing. But and he's hoping that it's a repeat of the scoreline when Scotland played in the Allianz last 5-1. I mean, history favours Bayern. Celtic have played them 5 times and 5 ties in Europe, haven't won. I think Bayern are undefeated against Scottish clubs for long and weary. And also, the extent of Celtic's task is Real Madrid, Liverpool, Inter, PSG and Arsenal are the only teams to win in the Allianz Arena in the last 20 years. Wow. That's the formidable task that you're up against. And I was trying to err on the side of positivity when I spoke to Brendan Rodgers. I started talking about the miracle on ice in Lake Placid, the miracle of Medina, Leicester City, the miracle of them winning the title in 2016. And I said Celtic are straying into sporting miracle territory, but they have a fighting chance. And Brendan was quite philosophical about that. He said it's about belief and staying in it. It's just he said Celtic's objective was staying in the tie for a second leg. They're very much in the tie, but those list of clubs that I just rounded off there, that 5, Real Madrid, Liverpool, PSG, Arsenal, and Inter Milan. If you're going to have to do something special to beat Bayern and put your name in that illustrious list that they're the only ones to have defeated Bayern in their own backyard in 20 years. That's formidable, and we spoke off there prior to coming on. The extent of the task that Celtic are facing tonight. It is gargantuan. It's just massive. But you cling on to that hope that sporting miracles sometimes do happen. But realistically, you're thinking Bayern are they'll be too good on the night for Celtic.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's just, I'm stating the obvious here, but it's such a tall order for us to. Well, I mean, with our away record in Europe, it's got better, I guess, in recent years. We've had a few credible draws away from home. We've had a few wins in this season. We've had a couple of. I mean, the Atalanta away result was arguably the best result we've had away from home in the Champions League ever. Given we drew with, I think, Barcelona in 2004. But other than that, in terms of the opposition we were up against, but you're talking a different level tonight. Yeah. In fact, we need to go to the Allianz and win, and even winning, might not be enough. A 1-goal victory only takes it to extra time. So it's a huge ask. Everything you look at, the fact they have world-class players, the fact they're at home, all the records you talk about, they've. I think I heard earlier that Inter Milan were the last team that beat Bayern after losing the first leg. Bayern, when they win the first leg, they always tend to win the second leg. So it's a huge ask. But there's always a part in you that just thinks if we can just get through the first 10 minutes, the first 20 minutes, the first half an hour, and it's goalless, then, maybe you nick something. The thing is, and Kasper Schmeichel made a great point yesterday. Bayern Munich are a top team, and everyone's talking about that. Celtic are a really good team as well. Okay, not quite at that level, but we're never going to be at that level. This is Bayern Munich we're talking about. You sometimes have to repeat that. But this is a really, really good Celtic team who I think can score tonight. I actually fancy us to score at least one tonight. It's just keeping them out at the other end. So if you get an Atalanta-type defensive performance and we're organised and we're able to reach new heights with the ball away from home in Europe, then just maybe it gets interesting tonight. But if you're totally honest, I'm looking at it tonight and just really hoping to be enthused by what I see from Celtic. And if they go out having played well and not falling apart, I'll be kind of relatively happy with that. As I repeat, it's Bayern Munich we're playing away from home.
Yeah, well, of course. But you cannot deny in this Euro adventure that there's been progress. There has been progress.
Undoubtedly.
Right. And to the point where Kasper Schmeichel is sitting there saying, never mind them. We know what they are. We know what Bayern are. They know they're formidable opposition, but we're a good team too. and I asked him what I was talking about Leicester, and I said, look, is that something that you can bring to the table as well? And
I heard you. Yeah.
He was very open about that and saying, yeah, it's the proof that these things happen. Someone put out, and I wrote it for the Herald as well, and I put it on the website too. The miracle in Munich has a nice ring to it. It certainly does. But that's what we're asking for tonight. But as you see, you don't want this to be stone dead early on.
Yeah.
Just hang on as long as you can. And I'm on record as saying, I think at some point, I'm like you, I think Celtic can score. And I think there'll be a moment tonight where you'll think the dream's on. And as I said as well, not saying that that'll be the end result come the end of 90 minutes or extra time or beyond, but there'll be a moment tonight. I've got a feeling there'll be a moment tonight where you'll think Celtic.
Do you think we'll get the first goal?
I really do. I just think I don't know why. Because I think there is a real underestimation of the pressure that's on Bayern to actually go to the final, not just win this football match, to get to the final because it's in their own backyard. And I know this is a wonderful and formidable opposition that you're playing. I get all that, and I'm being realistic as well. I just don't want to see Celtic collapse, and it will take an Atalanta type defensive performance, and and everybody harks back to Dortmund and they lost and all that. But the one bright note in Dortmund was the reaction to going one down. They equalised in jig time. Granted, it fell apart as soon as they'd got themselves back in it. But, so these are things that you say to yourself, okay, you have to marry that Atalanta type defensive display. Take the one good thing that came from Dortmund, that you went up the park so soon after Dortmund scored and equalised. So these are all the learnings that I'm talking about in terms of that progression and the manager talks about. So you can't say that there's not been learnings there and there's not been development. And what you said there, just stay in it for as long as you can. And if you come away and you get beat down, it's expected because of the calibre of opposition you're playing. As you say, it's Bayern Munich, just the words. You just know. But you're playing a football team. You're not playing the occasion. You're not playing the stadium. You're not playing the fans. You're playing a football match, which the onus is always on Celtic to win football matches. Vincent Kompany said that as well. We're very similar to Celtic, and that there's an expectancy there. It doesn't matter the opposition, and it's the same with Celtic, and that's why I was encouraged and enthused by both Brendan Rodgers and Kasper Schmeichel, because they were saying we're a good team too. Don't underestimate Celtic, and I think that's what I took out of that, to be honest.
But go and show that tonight. Yeah. Like don't fall apart in the first 10 minutes. Don't lose a goal early on. And if you do happen to lose a goal, a screamer can go in, like some of Dortmund's goals, or like that second goal at Villa Park. That if you lose a goal, don't lose another one. Like, even if you lose the first goal, obviously if you lose the first goal, it's like you're kind of thinking it's like almost impossible. But still, stick in the game. That's my big thing for tonight. Don't be 3-0 down after 20 minutes. And I'll be honest, I know that the manager's speaking a bit about, we've come on from Dortmund, we've learned from it, and they clearly did in Bergamo, and they did in Zagreb. We were still 2-0 down at Villa Park after 5 minutes. So I'd stop short of saying that we've totally learned from this. I'll be honest, that's my big concern tonight, that Bayern come out flying and we're 2-0 down after 10 minutes. So go and show me you've learned and then build on it, because we have quality. Go and believe in yourself when you've got the ball.
But conversely, in that, it took them 2 minutes to get back into the Aston Villa game, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, every time we've gone behind or lost the first goal, apart from last week in the tournament, we've come back. Bruges, we came back. Leipzig, we came back. Dortmund, we came back initially. Villa Park, we came back initially. Yeah,
so, I mean, there are those positives, but we've spoken about it before. It's that clusters of goals that Celtic lose. They don't just lose one.
Yeah,
that's lose 2 and 3 in the mountain to climb just becomes insurmountable then, doesn't it? But they have to stay in this high for as long as they can and hope that mood just changes. And so and I think the players and the manager believe. Well, first and foremost, they believe. And that's hopefully, as you see, that transmits onto a performance on the part that you're coming out after it and you're proud of them, and you just say, okay, if it's not to be, it's not to be. Brendan Rodgers was talking about that. Don't come off regretting things you could have done, should have done, would have done. Go and do it and see what happens. You're going toe to toe with a European. They are a European heavyweight. They are one of the biggest clubs in the world. They are up there with Barcelona, Real Madrid of this world. There's no denying that. And that's the size of the task. But the manager said he want to embrace that challenge. You have to embrace it as a supporter as well, and you say, okay, this is it. This is the stage you want to be on. Let's put those learnings into practice, and and see where it takes us.
And if tonight is the end, you're going to have 6 months without Celtic playing against elite European opposition. So let's enjoy tonight, or do our best to enjoy it, because this is what we live for as Celtic fans. Right, few comments. Charlie, just got a feeling. What feeling is that, Charlie? I think I have a feeling I know what the feeling is. Jason, we have nothing to lose, really, nothing but upside tonight. Yeah, I guess in terms of the tie, no one's expecting us. I think if we go out and, as I say, if we're 3-0 down after 20 minutes and end up losing 5-0, the reaction isn't going to be particularly good. So I don't think Celtic are completely free of pressure tonight. Like, I think I want the team to go out. I don't expect the team to go out and go through tonight, but I expect the team to go out and not to fall apart. I want to see real tangible improvement. Chilpel, can't see us winning the tie, but I'd love all in. It's been a good campaign. It's been a great campaign in the Champions League. Mary saying, you never know, lads, anything is possible. Ian, you need to dream. It's unlikely, but very possible. Des, it's our last game in the competition. It's still an exciting game. Looking forward to getting up early to watch. Me too, Des. Ian, I was in the Allianz Arena in June when Katie played in Calmac, men versus boys. Hope it's not a similar outcome. Me too, Ian. That was a horrible evening. Horrible walk back to the train station that's about a mile away from the Allianz Arena. So hopefully the Celtic fans don't have to suffer that tonight after a bad defeat. Maestro wondering what the starting lineup will be tonight, Tony. So what's the big decisions? Left back, forward? What do you think the manager will do?
Yeah, left back and forward is your. I've kind of put my cards on the table with that. I'm playing Jeffrey Sloop, and I'm playing Jota and Maida through the middle, and Kuhn on the other side. I think you need to give yourself every chance to win this football match. And just said on Saturday, Jota's that wee bit of stardust that you might need, and he can do stuff. He can create, and I just think that stage is set. He comes alive in these moments. Jota, he's given you a few moments in Europe when he's capable of producing a brilliant pass, just a moment of magic. You need players like that, and he's more experienced now, and he's experienced Europe with Celtic. So, and I think they could be got at with Maida through the middle. I really do, and I think you're going to have to try and exploit that, because you're going to have to score. And I just think you hear me say it a lot, that horses for courses type thing. And I've nothing against Adam Eder. I'm an Adam Eder lover, as you know. You're very much on the Adam Eder will score goals for Celtic track too, and I've no doubt he will. But I just think tonight you're going to have to use the wings and Maida through the middle to unlock their defence. And I think that's what I would do. And I think Sloop offers just the physicality for me, Hamish, and big game experience. He's played in the English Premier League for a long time. And on Saturday, I think he showed enough for me to say, right, you know the drill here. You're an accomplished player. And I just think having somebody with experience, because I think they would target Taylor as a potential weak link. I really do. And why wouldn't you? And again, I've nothing personal against Taylor. He's been a wonderful servant for the club. But I just think it's the message that it sends out. You're sending out a big physical presence, and your star players. You're respecting that opposition as well. But you're saying, look, we're not here to get rolled over. We're not here to lose to your slaughter. We're here because we want to win the football match as well. We want to get through to the last 16. And I just think setting yourself up that way gives you the best possible chance. And I want to see a level of performance where you turn around, you agree with Casper and the manager and say, we are actually a good team. And then that room for improvement in terms of the next time you're in the competition, you hold your own again. So I'm intrigued by it, but that's what I would do. And I think the rest of the team picks itself, doesn't it?
Yeah, the midfield will be McGregor, Hatate, Engels, the back four picks itself. Someone was asking if Alistair Johnson's injured. I don't believe so.
No,
I think
not.
Paulo Bernardo is the only
Yeah.
The only main one will be missing tonight. James Forrest might even be back in the squad. I'm not sure. I agree with both of your choices, and probably the majority of people. I know Maestro's commenting away saying Ida has to start, and he won't be the only one feeling that way. But I am with you. I think you look at the final half an hour of last week, and maybe Bayern eased off a little bit. Maybe our players at 2-0 down felt the pressure was off slightly and we started to play a bit more. I guess we'll find out tonight how true that was. But certainly Daizen Maeda through the middle caused them far more issues than Adam Ida. So definitely for that. And I think Jota, who the manager said yesterday, is ready to start, which I think is a good thing. I have a good feeling about Jota as well if he starts. I think Jota's a quality player. Really good dribbling. He can trouble any defence with his dribbling and quality. So I just think that's the one that excites me the most. I think that's what Brendan Rodgers will go with, just based off the way the subs and the team went on Saturday against Dundee United. Left back, I'll be surprised if Schlupp starts, personally. I think the manager will go for Greg Taylor. I would play Schlupp. I detailed, one of the reasons earlier on in the week that was pointed out to me, the fact that he knows Michael Olise from their time together at Crystal Palace. He knows him. He's trained with him. Olise was Bayern Munich's best player last week for me. I think that would be an obvious thing to do. I hope that happens. Nothing against Greg Taylor, but I hope that's that Schlupp is in at left back. I just feel like it will be Greg Taylor, and he'll have to have a big performance. But
yeah,
guess we'll wait and see.
But for the reasons you've outlined, you're justifying that. We're all justifying why our team selection would be that way. And I just think it gives us the best possible chance to succeed. And we're not alone in that. But everybody sees it differently. But that's, you're asked how you call it, and that's how I would call it. Whether or not the manager agrees with you or not, it's immaterial. It's his decision at the end of the day. It's his team, and I have no qualms about what team he puts out. But looking at it, and you're thinking, okay, this is the way I would set up. So we shall see. It will be an intriguing first 11 that starts, but Jota for me is just the no-brainer in it all, because he's got star quality. And every time, my father was at the game on Saturday, and he said every time Jota got the ball, there was just a buzz of anticipation, real. And he said he's not seen or heard anything like it watching Celtic for a long, long time. The love-in continues, but he's just that kind of player. That he will produce, and I think the bigger the stage, it floats his boat.
Well, he scored a free kick at the Bernabeu. I know we were 5-0 down at the time, but it doesn't get much bigger than that in terms of moments.
But he still celebrated it like it was an achievement, and it was a decent enough achievement for him, because that's something he'd always wanted to do, score a Champions League goal against a big club. So I was delighted for him in that sense. So here's hoping he can produce another moment like that.
Yeah, loads of comments coming in. A fair bit of support for Adam Ida starting tonight. A few people mentioning the height disadvantage if Jota starts rather than Ida, which Bayern looked dangerous from set pieces last week, didn't they? So that's a big thing for me as well. Don't leave Harry Kane on his own at the back post. Be alert and deal with that. The game is on Amazon Prime tonight, everyone. I'm just reading a wee bit about their coverage tonight, just for your information. The first time Celtic have ever played on Amazon Prime. The coverage will be hosted by Gabby Logan. Commentary done by John Champion, who's a voice you'll be familiar with. Co-coms is Alan Shearer tonight, which is an interesting one. We went for Shearer, etc. We've got a studio of Martin O'Neill, Neil Lennon, and Clarence Seedorf tonight. So a pretty elite team over on
Top-notch studio, that, isn't it?
Amazon Prime tonight. So I'm going to now try and find a way I can watch that here because the coverage we get on Stan Sport isn't quite as good, Tony, I must say.
Is that right? Is it not as good? I know the deal with Amazon Prime is they get the pick of the Tuesday games. Is that right?
Yeah.
I believe so.
And there's no English team tonight, so they've obviously gone for us. I did want to check this out. I've not done it yet, but I believe they've got a free trial going, Amazon Prime. I mentioned this yesterday. If people are looking for that tonight and you don't have Amazon Prime, then just check that out because I think they do a 30-day free trial that you're then able to cancel before you have to pay. And again, apologies to Jeff Bezos if he's watching. Tony, what's on the agenda today? And have you bumped into many Celtic fans so far?
There's a few staying in the hotel. I heard them. Let's put it that way. They're making their voices heard. Let's put it that way. Today, I think I'll be going down, seeing where the fans are congregated. They'll be somewhere in the squares, the Marienplatz or something. I think down there, Marienplatz down there. Yeah. So I think might be heading down there.
So many good places. I know from the summer in Munich, so many good kind of big beer garden areas that can hold hundreds and thousands of people. So there's so many places in Munich.
So I think we'll be heading down there and see if I can grab a word or two with some of them, see what they're up to, and just gauge the general mood of the Celtic supporters. I think there's growing optimism. I don't know if there's grounds for it, but I think the nearer it gets, it's kind of like, we can do this, but we're not underestimating the realist in you tells you, the last time they were in Germany, it didn't turn out as planned, and there was grounds for optimism then. So we temper it, don't we, with all of that. But I keep getting back to it. Stranger things have happened, and we shall see. But it's you're in a straight shootout with one of the most formidable and biggest teams in world football. But Hamish, there's no other place I'd rather be.
Yeah.
To be honest, this is what we want. This is what we crave as a fan, as a working professional as well. And it's what Rodgers craves too. This is why he came back to Celtic, for nights like this, and to put his wits in the challenge against the best of the best. Bayern Munich are up there with the best of the best. So let's get it on. Let's do it. And in the words of Kasper Schmeichel, we're a good team too. There's a ringing in my ears. And as you say, that's something that you hope they can bring that level tonight and show everybody they're a good team. And ultimately, if they fail, they fail. But you just want to take a step back.
Do ourselves justice.
Yeah, and be proud of the team and be proud of this European adventure and think, okay, this is just the start of something. Hopefully it's just the start of something at this level.
And regardless of how the game goes, obviously, if we get a heavy defeat, there'll be a bit of frustration, no doubt. But I think when the dust settles, if we do go out tonight, regardless of how tonight goes, it will be viewed as a really successful campaign. I mean, you would have signed up for this at the start of the season if I had sat you down and said you'll be 2-1 down, but you would go into the Allianz Arena, second leg of a knockout tie. You would 100% have signed up for that. It's been an amazing journey. Tonight's our 10th Champions League game this season. I know not all the moments have been great. Dortmund's the obvious one, but I've absolutely loved this campaign. It's my favourite Champions League campaign in a good while, probably since 2012, 2013 when we beat Barcelona, etc. The team have been excellent, I think, and I just hope tonight, even if we go out, do yourselves justice. Don't go out kind of wondering or thinking maybe if we showed a bit more belief. Be organised, stick in the game. That's the main thing for me. But the kind of secondary thing is when you get the ball, show quality, be brave, be bold, as the manager says, and you never know. We're only one goal behind. You never know.
Correct.
Okay.
Exactly.
Now I'm getting a bit of a adrenaline going. I'm so jealous you're gonna get to the game while I'm gonna be here waking up at 7 a.m. to to watch it. By the way, the Amazon Prime coverage starts 90 minutes before kickoff, so they're fair building up to it.
Yeah, I never lose sight of that you're in a privileged position. It's a wonderful job, and nights like tonight make the job so special. So I'm very grateful to be part of the media team that's covering it. So yeah, but just looking forward to it as well. And it's a home of European football, isn't it? It's one of the most renowned stadiums in world football. So yeah, bring it on, Hamish. That's all I can say.
Okay, Tony, enjoy your day. Go out and chat to loads of Celtic supporters and get to the stadium nice and early, because it is a bit of a trek out there, as you'll know. So I'm sure you'll be fine.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Take care, guys, and whatever you're doing and wherever you're watching it, hope Celtic can produce the goods.
Yes, you never know, everyone. Listen, thanks so much for tuning in and spending a little bit of your pre-match build-up today with us. We will return, of course, after the game. There'll be morning briefing tomorrow as well, regardless of the results, so you can look forward to that. Cheers, everyone. Catch you then.